Mike at it.
Right.
You know, I was listening to the topic and I was thinking about some of the things that were said in the beginning about what they were powerless over. And I listened, one of them said, I'm powerless over missing the bus. And I was thinking, you know, how this program has put me in a position to where I can be on time. You know, I can conduct my life in a way that I don't have to miss the bus. So I was thinking to myself, why would they say that when this program clearly puts me in a position to start being able to make better decisions? So in essence, how could you be powerless over missing the bus when you have control on whether you get there or not? It is a mindset, isn't it? It's a mindset that we can fall into. It's a trap. We can include so many things in the phrase of I'm powerless over it because it sounds cool. Some of them aren't really in reality, though. The idea of being powerless over personal places, people, places, and things, and I've even heard people say in meetings, just like the book says, we're powerless over people, places, and things. That's not in any book. Trust me. I've looked. It's not there. It comes from a place where the story says if you find some person, place, or thing unacceptable to you, and somebody twisted the script on it a little bit and made it say that, but it doesn't say that anywhere. The only word powerless is used in the first 164 pages is when they recite that step. The word power is used 63 times in the first 164 pages. And on page 63, it talks about how new power flows in and I begin to face life successfully. So I can look at life as the glass is half empty, and believe me, I'll suffer for it, and I've observed many suffer for it. Or I can try to look at the things that God has given me the opportunity to rectify and thank God for the program that He's given me to enable me to see how many things in life I do have an impact on. You know, we talk about how we're powerless over what people think, but then we have a book that talks about how we were a tornado through people's lives. And I get to thinking about what a powerful negative force a tornado is. And so if we can be a powerful negative force, then we're not powerless. We can be a powerful positive force in people's lives. I've had people come to me and say, since you've stopped and stopped using and being the person you are, you've affected me positively. I know every one of us that have had a little time have had people come to them, maybe not saying that, but saying, you know, I've got somebody I know that's got a drug problem, or I have a problem. Can you tell me how you're doing it? That is a powerful thing. And you didn't even know you were affecting them. It's because our daily walk can affect people. It's not necessarily our talk. There's so many things that recovery has enabled me to be a part of and play a part of in my recovery. The mindset of just turning it over to Big G and letting him do it all is truly doomed to failure, because faith without works is dead. And if I'm not willing to do my part, nothing happens, because I can be starving and lock myself in a closet and pray to God to shove an Oscar Mayer through the keyhole, and it ain't going to happen. So, but He empowers me to do the things I need to do to make things in my life happen. He wasn't in there taking the bar exam for me, but He gave me the willingness and the tenacity to make the studying happen, to make it happen, and I give Him the credit. I appreciate that. We talk about the book. We're talking about power. I wanted to read something to you. Before the meeting took on a tone of everything we're powerless over, because I've been in hundreds of those meetings, and it's infectious. We will talk about all the things we can't do for an hour. I've been to hundreds of those meetings, and I'm not quite sure that that's what we really want, because I want to leave a meeting wanting to use less than when I got here, not wanting to use more than when I got here. And I can take you to some meetings where you want to use more when you leave than when you got there. The drama, chaos, bullshit that's shared, downright misinformation. I mean, you know, let's talk about experience, strength, and hope, not war stories, weakness, and despair. And that's why I pride myself on this meeting, because I do believe that we try to stick to the solution. 386 in the 4th edition talks about this power word that to some I know is heresy and blasphemous, but it's okay. It says, I looked up an AA meeting. He went to a strange town. It's funny that you said that. He looked up an AA meeting and he went there alone. He said, here I found an ingredient that had been lacking in any other effort I made to save myself. Here was power. Here was power to live to the end of a given day, power to have the courage to face the next day, power to have friends, power to help people, power to be sane, power to stay sober. That was 7 years ago and many AA meetings ago, and I haven't had a drink during those 7 years. Moreover, I am deeply convinced that so long as I continue to strive in my bumbling way toward the principles I first encountered in the earlier chapters of this book, this remarkable power will continue to flow through me. Now that right there is something to live up to. You know, we can try to talk and one-up each other on the things that we can't do and what we're powerless over, and that's cool. Maybe that has value to some. It has zero to me. Because I've been here long enough to know how much God has given me control of. Because this idea that I can't do anything puts a pall of remorse over me. It's a what's the use mentality. And I can fall into it, and I've been into it. But I'm here to say that my experience has been, and I'm here to report, the feeling that God has given me tools to live by that can, maybe for the first time in my life, dictate the course of my life is a good feeling. To know that there are things I can do on a daily basis that can keep me on that constant course of improvement, keep me in a positive direction, definitely keep me from going back. You know, we don't want to shut the door, I know. It's hard to say I don't regret some of the things that happened in the past, though. But I don't have to walk back through that open door. I look at those experiences, learn from them, use these tools, and use some of these things that it clearly says I have power over. And acknowledge it. And this is the real trick. When things start getting good in recovery, we can get ourselves in trouble. I must, in the good times, constantly give God the credit. Thank you, God, for this. Because I can start going, thank you, Mike. We don't need God anymore. I did a foxhole prayer. He fixed it, and we will holler. How many, even our book talks about it. I use God as a bush league pinch hitter. But this program teaches me to thank God on a daily basis, even during the good times. And that's why I believe that this guy was able to say these things. Page 386 in the 4th edition. I want you to look it up for yourself, read it, see what it means to you, and embrace a mindset that goes somewhere, and let go of the mindset that keeps us down. I've had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, and I'll pass.
Thanks, Mike.